Calling to order the Municipality of Monroeville's Citizens Night and Agenda Setting Meeting for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 is at approximately 7:15 p.m. If we'd all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Could I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Griesel?
Here.
Mr. Hizzy?
Here.
Mr. Purge?
Here.
Mr. Stevenson? Here. Mr. Cripe?
Here.
Mr. Adams?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Graziani?
Here.
Mr. Ratcher?
Here.
Ms. Rock?
Here.
Mr. Hugus?
Here.
Mr. Sedlak?
Here.
Mr. Weldon?
Here. Welcome. We're going to open the floor for Citizens Night. This will be your one opportunity to comment this evening. This is a comment period for residents and taxpayers. Everyone is afforded a 5-minute time period to comment on any municipal matter. There will also be a public comment period prior to next week's regular council meeting, at the start of the meeting, on the agenda items only. There will also be a secondary comment period at the end of next week's meeting for any municipal item. So this comment period I'm going to open the floor for right now is for any municipal item. You keep your comments to a 5-minute time limit. So if there's anyone here who'd like to address council, now would be your chance to do so. You come up and sign in, and you will state your name for the record.
Georgina.
Georgiana Woodhall. I live at 4560 Broadway Boulevard. I don't know if you've been listening to the news about the sale of the Monroeville Mall by Walmart. And I don't know what your feelings are about that. I can say that this could be a really good thing to develop that property if they develop it in a manner that the residents of Monroeville and council approve to. If they come in here and they want to develop the property in the manner that they came in 2005, when I was considered one of the ringleaders, anti-Walmart movement, I will be, again, a ringleader because I've lived in this community for 70 years. I'm third generation in my house. I plan on staying here, and I'm proud to be a part of this community. So I'm not going to take too much of your time, Mayor, other than I want to just state for the record that when Walmart came in here before, wanting to put the Walmart at the intersection of Route 130 and 48 on that 2-lane road, this was billion-dollar Walmart that wanted to apply for, that did apply for a level of service waiver at the intersection of Haymaker Road and Route 130. And we're talking about billion-dollar Walmart. So I have all the information in here. I can't get into it. I'm not going to plan that their intentions are good for that property and for all the residents of Monroeville. Because as I said, there are people who fought Walmart before. It was Wilmerding, Wall, Monroeville. It was all the small town and small businesses around here that probably would have been put out of business by billion-dollar Walmart at the time. So I'd just like to just read this. This is an article from February 7th, 2007. I know, Mayor, you always say, don't go back, go forward. And I'm looking forward to going forward to something great. But I got to just read this to you. This is from the San Francisco newspaper, and it says, Walmart sex discrimination suit advances appeals court okays class action status for 2 million women. It was the largest class action suit in the country. And I want to put this behind me and everything else behind me. And I'd just like you to know that when they come in here to develop that property, as I said, I will be their best friend if they do it in a manner that is the best for the people of Monroeville now and in the future. But if they come in here and try and do what they did in the past, I'll be their biggest nightmare. Thank you.
Thank you.
And they won't be, Mayor, a burden on our police department ever. because we need to take care of those who have taken care of us, and some of them paying the biggest sacrifice. Thank you.
I'll leave the floor open for public comment on any municipal item.
Hi, everybody.
Evening, Dr. Beck.
My name is Alyssa. I go by many names. Yeah, so I'm curious. I'm just really curious. And I know that council doesn't necessarily answer questions, but I'm going to just express some of my curiosity. Maybe some people that are watching this will also become more curious. 20 years ago, I walked door to door because we were concerned about Walmart coming here. In the article in the front page of today's Virtual Post-Gazette, it said Walmart's had an interest in our community for 10 years. Well, two of the originals are here before you tonight saying it wasn't years, it's been 20 years. And I was talking to Georgianne earlier, and I was saying, 20 years ago when I stood before council, I didn't realize how far ahead of the time I was. It just didn't occur to me. But I understand that now. And I understand when Walmart says they want to work with the residents, which they said in the meeting, in the article today, that means one thing to them, and it means something else to us, perhaps, as residents. It certainly means something different to me. I also recognize right now that rooftop farming on top of part of this new Walmart may not be something that people are yet ready to understand or accomplish. But maybe 20 years later, it might sound a little bit more interesting if Monroeville could have food security, because the multi-billionaires called Walmart would venture, and maybe some of them are listening here right now, to do some experimentation and engage the people in the community that are into permaculture, into regenerative food systems, into organics, to creating that. And the organization that I co-founded in 2019 called Reimagine the Turtle Creek Watershed and Airshed Communities did a lot of research in one of their 5 subgroups about the mall. That was one of the projects. I'm hoping watching this that you have that report, that very detailed report that looked at malls across the country and showed how malls can be reimagined. It was interesting to me that they used the word reimagine in the first sentence of their article. Reimagine the Turtle Creek Watershed and Airshed Communities is the organization that I co-founded with the League of Women Voters and Protect Penn Trafford Township in 2019. The question that I have for you, which I hope you can answer now or not, is in the article they say they want to be collaborative and they want to know what residents want. Does council have a say in that? Will Walmart come to council? How will we manage that? How will we navigate that interface? How will we communicate with Walmart? Does council have a partnership? Does council have an interest in a multi-use situation where maybe there is not only retail but residential in that place? And maybe we will grow food there ultimately. So maybe it will be permeable pavement. Maybe it will be truly what Reimagine has reimagined. Or maybe it'll be something like that, and it won't be a mega monster center that wipes out the rest of the individual businesses that currently exist in the mall and around the community. I want to just read this to you. This is an article that Georgianne is the librarian. I don't keep these kinds of things, and I don't remember what I did. In 2006 in the Times Express, I wrote to the editor, and the headline says, Walmart generosity following rezoning rejection questioned. Because if you'll remember, in 2005-06, council rejected their ability to come in here to our community. Dear editor, I wrote, I found it interesting that Walmart recently gave grants from its annual Safe Neighborhood Heroes program to honor 5 local fire, police, rescue, and EMS teams. When Monroeville Council on September 13th denied Walmart's rezoning request to put a Walmart supercenter on the corner of routes 48 and 130 on the edge of Pitcairn, the question of who would pay for the extra EMS, fire, and police required by Monroeville was a huge issue. A few $1,000s Walmart is a nice gesture, but will not put even a small dent into the true cost of this to this municipality. Why is Walmart donating to our community when it doesn't even have a store in Monroeville? Alyssa Beck, Monroeville. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll leave the floor open for public comment on any municipal item. Okay, seeing none, we're going to close the public comment period and Citizens Night for this evening. And I'll just make a brief statement regarding this matter. We have not had any contact with Walmart up to this point. We have only met with Cypress Equities. Cypress Equities is the company that is managing and directing the redevelopment. We've had very optimistic and very positive meetings with them and welcoming them into the community. And they are going to be rolling out what their plans are in the very near future. But at this point, we don't have any plans from them whatsoever, other than that they are very interested in reinventing, reimagining, and redeveloping that property. So we look forward to what they're going to bring to the community. Council, we have an executive session announcement that council conducted an executive session on this evening, Tuesday, February 4th, 2025, from 6:15 p.m. to approximately 7:15 p.m. for matters pertaining to legal, personnel, and/or real estate. Council legislative action, if any, will be taken at next week's Tuesday's February 11th council meeting. Skipping down to number 5 for your consideration for next week would be the regular council meeting of November 12th, 2024, the Citizens Night meeting of December 3rd, 2024, the council work session meeting of December 3rd, 2024. Council, any questions, corrections, additions, or anything?
Mayor?
Yes,
I will have the December 10th regular council meeting minutes
as well.
in the packets for this week, so we'll be able to approve those also.
Very good. So those 4 items, any questions or comments, council? Hearing none, we're moving on. The reports of the tax collections, any questions this month? List of bills and budget transfers. Council, any questions about any of those items? Council, any questions? Very good. All these items, this is not a voting meeting this evening, but all of these items will be considered and voted on or acted on, hopefully, next Tuesday, February 11th. Moving over through the agenda are resolutions. It's in section number 8. There will be a resolution adopting the Valley West PRD, formerly the Old Stone Village PRD sewage planning module. Mr. Wilden? Comments?
Nothing's changed. This is simply a name change. It was called Old Stone Village, and they wanted to change the name to Valley West. So they wanted that changed on the resolution. Changed on the resolution is go through council again. So all the numbers are the same. They're just changing the name.
Name change. Okay, very good. Council, any questions? Hearing none, we'll move on. We have ordinances for this month, 2 to consider. Mr. Ratcher, please.
An ordinance of the Municipality of Monroeville, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending ordinance number 2786, the benefits of Monroeville non-union exempt employees and non-exempt employees.
Council, any questions? Mr. Graziani, this obviously is in the packet, and I'm assuming that any changes are in red.
Yeah, we made changes to it related to getting it to be in sync with the recently approved Public Works contract.
But any changes from last time are indicated in different color?
Correct.
Okay, very good. Next item, Mr. Ratcher.
An ordinance of the Municipality of Monroeville, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending ordinance number 2737, fixing the compensation of the tax collector for collection of real property taxes levied by the Municipality of Monroeville for the years 2026, 2027, 2028, and 2029 at $35,000 annually. And per statute, tax collector is an elected position. The salary, if there is to be any increase, must be fixed prior to the circulation of nominating petitions, which I think happens later this month. And that would be effective for the new term of whoever is elected tax collector to start serving in 2026.
Council, any questions about that item? Very good. We will consider this next Tuesday, February 11th. Reports of municipal staff. Mr. Ratcher, you still have the floor. Anything for this evening?
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Graziani.
My manager's report is provided for you in the packet. Obviously, there's a number of things that are happening this year, as you would expect in the new year, getting started. We will be looking to having join us next week. M.K. Lang will be starting as our new assistant manager. She happens to be in the audience this evening. As I've been trying to detail with council throughout the process. In October, we started with a deadline of December. We had over 55 applicants. Actually, 75 people submitted in total resumes, but 55 completed the application process correctly. 55, over 30 of them had master's degrees and met the minimum qualifications. We narrowed the group down to 20, which was then reduced down to 9 with a leadership team of senior staff. We interviewed the 9, reduced that down to 5, had another interview with the group of 5. Very, very impressed with the people who applied. MK's working and hopefully will be finishing her PhD. She has experience in county and local government here in Pennsylvania. She's worked in communities that have had hundreds of millions of dollars of budget, county governments, working within the human resources, but directly for county administrators, has been a borough manager of a community here in Pennsylvania. Just outstanding credentials. We're thrilled to have her. I think you'll find a person with a high level of integrity and an intellect to match. Along with that, other things are in the council packet. As you can see, we're pursuing things related to restarting the K-9 program here. There's movement on Parks and Rec Director. We have 12 applicants for that position. We did talk a lot about the rebranding of the communications here from Monroeville TV to communications, and there's a position we're looking to fill there. We do need to fill the construction inspection position. This is a position that has been on our budget for a while, but has been vacant since January of 2024. We did make a hire, but it didn't work out, so we had to re-advertise the position. The construction inspector position is essential for our stormwater projects and our pavement and so many other things that the community does. So if anybody's watching on television and knows someone who's interested in that position, it is online now, and we're going to really do a full court press to market. I would encourage council members, if you don't know what the position entails, please look it up, because we need people to apply. It's a position that we have great benefits here, pays well, and it's very important. But so many other activities. Want to echo the mayor's comments. This is historic. The 1965 or 68, the Monroeville Mall began to be developed and was opened in 1970. And you're the group of elected officials who will be overseeing that transformation and whatever that looks like. And they have reached out to us, the Cypress Group has, and they expressed interest in involving us in the process, and we're looking forward to working with them. One thing that's in your attention to, or two things. One is behind my manager's report, Mr. Hugus has provided for you funds expended to date going back to 2020 related to the Public Works campus renewal, rebuilding, relocation project, depending on how you want to phrase that. We have a public works campus that was developed primarily in the 70s with additions in the 80s and 90s, but back to almost what we talked about with Walmart, 20 years, there's been talk about doing things differently there, building new buildings. In 2019, we started the MS4 program, and we have a significant investment in equipment. And what I want council to consider as you look at those expenses, we've talked about as recently as October 2024 of building a $44 million in a new location. So, when you put that into perspective, however we do it, whether we take out a loan to do something like that or build a much more modest or take out a more modest loan, this is money that we're spending to figure out how to do that. I think in March it would be appropriate if we had a longer discussion about what has been done to date, how this money has been spent, and what have been the results of those efforts. But somewhere along the line, this council is facing the opportunity to think about the public works of 2035, the public works needs of 2045. 2045 would be approximately how long it would take for the loan, the bonds to be paid off. We're nearing being entirely out of debt. In 2026 will be our last debt payment. That debt included a number of things, not that was built, that we're in now, that was built 25 years ago. As I mentioned, the Public Works, 1975. And things are done differently than they were in 1975. And the public works of the future, we have 42 traffic lights with sophisticated controllers and computers that manage those. Now, we have sophisticated vehicles that have GPS units and have temperature monitoring systems to determine surface temperature when we're doing ice, we're doing salting for icing events. This equipment is very expensive and, like your vehicles at home, is very computer dependent. Just think about how your vehicles have changed and how much different it is for the computer components of those vehicles. Well, it's the same for us. So we have the opportunities, we have this discussion to think about the 2045 public works needs. Unlike you may increase and then downsize, we expect there will be a Monroeville in 2035 and 2045, and they'll have needs of protecting people and property, and there'll be public works services that will be delivered. And the question for you is, how do we best meet those needs? Like people made decisions for you and us to benefit on in the past, whether it was to build new buildings or take out bonds to do that, you'll be faced with those choices. So take a look at that and stay tuned for that. The final thing in your packet this evening, behind that one-page report, is basically a balance sheet of the convention center. We acquired the convention center in mid-September. And if you'll notice in the bottom of the lines there's a $92,000 or so amount. You find that on. We get 75% of that, and Ms. Rock established an account with the bank here to deposit $65,000 or so, 75% of that 92.
No, I just deposited in the general fund for now.
Okay, but
We need to discuss what we're going to do. with
yeah,
it.
what we were talking about was creating an account
Correct.
for the convention center for this amount.
Correct.
What we don't want to do is in general mingle it into general fund because of the,
Well, it's closely monitored as a reserve type thing.
yes.
So,
So we haven't got the
We
account
just-
opened yet,
exactly.
but we will be doing that, and again, that check has been received. The lease we signed with Visit Monroeville required that at the end of a year, basically, there's an amount cleared, if you can think of it as a profit maybe. 75% comes to us, goes to the reserves for the convention upkeep, and Prospera has that account. We don't have that money, we just get the 75%, which was about
Right.
$65,000.
And I would think next year would be a lot better because we'd be looking at a full year, obviously. So, you can increase that amount of,
So it's about a quarter of the 4 quarters, about a quarter of the year would have been lease sales from the
This is a
convention.
quarter payment?
We will get one payment a year, but its value is only about a quarter of the year because we didn't close and take ownership of the building
Okay.
to mid to late September.
yeah.
So October, November,
Right.
December sales at the convention center are represented in this balance sheet.
It's not bad. Good move. I'll live with that.
Very good.
That's all.
Thank you.
I'm good.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Ms. Rock? Anything?
Surprisingly, I have something tonight.
All right, we're ready.
I just wanted to let you know that we've the finance team has successfully completed and filed all the required January 31st documents, including 1099s, W-2s, and there's a few forms that we need to file with the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development. So we're all done there, we're good, we won't get any letters
We don't
on
want
us,
those.
we're late.
Right.
Way to go, Josie. Well done.
Very good. Thank you, and please thank the staff.
Will do.
Okay, reports of our, Mr. Hizzy,
I have nothing.
Mr. Poach.
Just, I'm sorry I stepped out earlier, so I may be repeating some things, but welcome to our newest member of the police department to do that, Jane as well, too. And looking forward to that program as it develops. We started budgeting that in July and talked about it. Maybe for next week, Alex, could you and the chief give us then the projection for where, what are the next steps to continue to develop the rest of the program?
For the K-9 program.
Yes, correct, too. Yeah, just, because we started quickly, we had some, and appropriately, we had some training times in there, classes to get in place and so on, so that was great, to do that, but then just where we were going from last July to here to what else needs to be done to do that, so that'd be great. Other than that, that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Stevenson.
Short, brief thing. I think everybody is aware of the times we live in today. Nothing like we lived in even 10 years ago. It's ugly out there. And all I can say is just try to be kind to each other if possible, and that'll be a lot less stressful on everybody. That's all I have, Mayor.
Very good, Mr. Stevenson. Mr. Crut.
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Adams.
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Williams.
The Allegheny County Treasurer's Department office holds a monthly satellite office here in the municipal building of Monroeville. They'll be here this month, February 20th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And what they'll do is receive county property taxes for hunting, fishing, dog license, and bingo license. So you don't have to go to Pittsburgh to take care of this stuff. You can come here on the 20th, and the ladies will be right here, and they can take care of that for you. Last month in my report, I reported on the worst post office in the area. That office is the Monroeville Post Office. They have not been accommodating to the public, especially to people with disabilities and to senior citizens. They removed the curbside boxes, which makes it difficult to put your letters in the box without getting out of your car. The manager continues to deny Monroeville residents this service after the hardship was brought to his attention. He will probably still get a bonus, although he's got things messed up. I recommend that our people go to Turtle Creek or Murraysville, which both have curbside boxes to put your mail in. It's just, hey, call the post office like I did in Washington D.C., and maybe somebody will call you back, and maybe not. But they don't seem to care. If you look at the sidewalk, there's weeds growing up. They send them letters, they laugh at us. They just don't take care of things. But anyhow, that's how the post office works.
It's the feds.
That's all I have to report, other than Valentine's Day is coming up, so be aware.
We've noticed your tie, Mr. Williams.
Thanks for the heads up,
Stay in
Mr.
there.
Williams. Mr. Biondo.
Yeah, I just want to offer condolences to a young police officer from the Penn Hills Department recently passed. His family's from here in Monroeville. Just want to offer my condolences to his family. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Biondo. Mr. Poach, our deputy mayor, couple things. Thank you for covering last month's meeting. I was out of town. I appreciate it. And also, congratulations, now being named the president of the Allegheny County Boroughs Association.
Thank you.
So, really looking forward to you representing Monroeville on the association, and congratulations. Sorry I was unable to make it to the event. I was making the trek to Gobbler's Knob and Punxsutawney, PA. So I was there and had a great time, and just unfortunately, if you don't know by now, there is 6 more weeks of winter weather, but we do have plenty of salt, so we are ready in
do have
Public
salt.
Works. But no, congratulations, Mr. Poe. Be there.
You'll buy anything.
No.
Very good. Welcome to MK, welcome to the municipality. Looking forward to working with you. And with that, I want to seek a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you and good night.